While saying goodbye to his sister Ophelia, Laertes warns her not to trust Hamlet's declarations of love. Polonius enters the room and gives Laertes tedious advice on how to behave in France. After Laertes leaves, Polonius questions his daughter. Agreeing with Laertes, he forbids her to speak to Hamlet. Enter Laertes and Ophelia, his sister.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convey it as assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more, for nature crescent does not grow alone, enthuse and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wide with thou. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor cattle doth besmirk the virtue of his will, but you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and the health of his whole state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then away what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariest maid is prodigal enough, if she unmask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself scapes not calumnious strokes. The canker galls the infants of the spring, too oft before their buttons be disclosed, and in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blasphements are most imminent. Be wary then, best safety lies in fear, you to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep, as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles like the puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of Dalens threads, and recks not his own reed.
Enter Polonius.
I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There my blessings with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. Look thou, character, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy shoulder with the hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment. Of each new hatched, unfledged courage, beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear't that the pose may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous chief in that neither a borrower nor a lender be, for a loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not be then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invests you, go your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
Laertes exits.
What is, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought, 'tis told me hath very oft of late given private time to you and you yourself. Have your audience been most free and bounteous? If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly. As it behooves my daughter and your honor, what is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection.
Pooh!
You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord. What should I think?
Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, running it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love and honourable fashion,
Aye, fashion, you may call it. Go to, go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks, I do not know. When the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than he, extinct in both, even in their promise, as it is a making. You must not take for fire from this time. Be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to a parle. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. And few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, not of that dye which their investments show, but mere implorations of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious balls. The better to beguile, this is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with Lord Hamlet. Look to't, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
They exit.